All right, so I've gone and looked around, and now that we've learned about how to identify the reeds on Wetaskiwin, once we found a little patch of them, I just double checked them, and I could see here that yes, this is Wetaskiwin. It's got that spine down, going down the center. It's sharp on both ends. It's not curved in any way at all. So I know this is Wetaskiwin. But of course, as with everything, uh, very first thing we need to do is give our thanks and our protocol before we can pick any of this medicine. And this is something we do every single time. Uh, Now, if you watch the video on uh, plant uh, and medicine protocol, you can learn a little bit more about the protocols there. But I'm just going to quickly do my protocol here so that I can show you how to pick this plant. But if you definitely want to learn more about the protocols, watch the video we have on plant and medicine protocols, harvesting protocols. So a couple of things I need when I'm going to be picking Wetaskiwin. Of course, I've got my Sistema, my tobacco that I'm going to be using in my offering. And I need muhuman, or a knife, because this knife is going to make it much easier for me to pick the Wetaskiwin. Because what happens, and we'll see that, is the roots. There's one main thick root that grows into the ground for Wetaskiwin, but there's all of these almost like hair-like little roots that grow off to the side, and they really cling into the ground. So if you don't have a knife, you're going to have some very, very sore fingers, because it takes a lot of work to try and pull out those Wetaskiwin, those rat root, from the ground with all of those little roots sticking out. But before I do anything, I'm going to quickly give my protocol. Wetaskiwin ninas kamon. Maskiki. Simantu kinanas kumtin kahkyaw maskiki. Musumna nukumna nagtapana kinanas kumtin wow. Kahkyaw magiwan. Wetaskiwin kinanas kumtin. Wawa maskiki. So what I said was, rat root, I give thanks to you for the medicine. Creator, I give thanks for all the medicines you provide. Grandmothers, grandfathers, great-grandparents, I give thanks to you for all of the teachings about the medicines. Rat root, I give thanks to you for the medicine that you're going to be providing me. I give thanks for all of it. And I give thanks. Hey. So once I've said my thanks, I'm going to put down my Sistema for this Wetaskiwin. Once I've given my Sistema, again, in the video on medicine protocols, you only have to do it to the first one you're picking. And once you've given protocol, it sort of gives you permission to pick only the amount of medicine that you need. So this doesn't mean that I can go and pick every single rat root in this area. It means once I've given my protocol, I can pick what I'm going to need to last me through the winter. So with any plant, I'm not going to just start picking and pick every one that I could see here. I'm going to I see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 roots here. I'm probably going to pick maybe 2 or 3 of them, and I'm not going to touch the others because we want the plants to regrow. So once I've picked them as well, any that I find with that reed, with that pine cone looking, any of the female plants, I'm going to make sure that I take that one and make sure that I'm going to break that off, because these are the seed pods. So I'm going to break that off and put it away from where people are picking, so these seeds will be able to go into the ground and germinate and grow more with Chesquamitsum. So I'm just going to break off that one because it's got that seed pod, and I'm going to go put it somewhere safe away from a picking area. And I put it right in the water. So that way we know that because this plant is giving its life to give medicine to me, I've helped it to finish its job of reproducing by taking those seed pods and putting it out on the ground as it normally would. So once I've done that, if I find any more, I'll take those as well and put them in a safe place. So with Chesquamitsum, if you look at them, on one side you'll sort of see it'll lead you, the root will lead you down. So the roots, what they do is they grow into the ground and they'll curve along the ground anywhere from 1 inch to about 6 inches into the ground. But they'll go down and they'll curve and they'll run along the ground under the dirt. So easiest way to do that is run your hand along and you can sort of dig it out and it'll show you which way the root itself is going. And you can just run your finger even along it and you'll feel the main part of the root. And that's sort of what you want to follow. So right now I'm just using my finger. A lot of times you're not going to be able to watch what you're doing. You're just going by feel because of course you can't see under the ground. This one is actually a really short one. So what I've done is I've run my finger to the end or as far as I could on this root. So now you can try and pull it. With the smaller ones you can usually pull out. With the bigger ones you're better off using your knife to cut alongside the roots. So I'm just gonna pull that one out. So you see what I was talking about where I said you have all of these little root branches coming off, and there's a lot of them, and they grow off to the side and they sort of, it's almost like the rat root is hanging on for dear life into the ground. So it's going to make you work for it. So clean off the dirt from there. And with these small roots, we don't need them. There's really no medicinal value in them. It's only in the main part of the root where all the medicine goes. So I'm just breaking these off. And I don't have to take them all off or completely clean it here, because once we've got them later, we completely wash them in clean water, and then I'll usually completely wash them in clean water. Then I'll peel off all of everything I can get off of there. The old outer, almost like fur, just like or just like a rat. But you'll see how the Chesquamitsum looks, and you've got these little, almost like a tiger. It's got those little tiger stripes going all around it, and that'll help you recognize that you've got the right root. So once you get cleaned off, again, it's almost like a tiger pattern going along the rat root, where it's got those lines going along the short way. It's never ever running up and down the root. It's always around it. So again, you can tear off all of those little pieces. Now with any muskiki or any medicines that we take where we're taking the tsipik or the root, we want to break that off, and we never ever take the part that we're not using for medicine. Once we've taken the root from it, or tsipik, We take the rest of what we've pulled out and we always put it right back to where we got it from. So I picked this one here. I'm just going to stick it in the ground there, right where I got it from. So this is what I need is my medicine, my Wetaskiwin. So again, uh, like I said, we're going to wash these in clean water until they're completely clean. All the dirt is off, and then I'm going to peel off all of these little root ends as much as I can. And then what happens is I hang these to dry, and I want them to completely dry out, because even once it's dry and once all of the water is out of it, all of the medicine or the muskeki I need will still stay inside the root. Now with Wetaskiwin, there are many uses. The main uses are for fever, uh, stuff like colds and flus, because with Wetaskiwin it is an antipyretic, which means that it will take away or reduce a fever. It's also an analgesic, meaning that's the properties where it'll take away a headache or it'll work on pain relief. Very much like aspirin or Tylenol. It has those same sort of abilities. Those are the two main ones, is that ability to take away a fever as an antipyretic and an analgesic. So those are the primary properties of Wetaskiwin. It's used in conjunction or combined with many other roots for various sicknesses, but for the most part, cold and flu uh, by itself, cold or flu or a headache, and you once it dried up, you eat very little of it, just a little piece of it, to either help your sore throat, and it'll numb your throat, take away the cough, as well as take away a headache. Those are the main uses. The rest, you definitely need the guidance of elders if you want to be learning more about how to use these medicines. So that is how we would pick and gather the Wetaskiwin.